Ladies and gentlemen, it appears that a new era, a new dawn is upon us over at this wonderful little website that you're probably watching this video on, YouTube, because something big has occurred. A big monetization change, a big channel change that I feel like is really going to dramatically shake up the space. But in a lot of ways, I feel like it's a change that's both good and also bad when you consider why they're doing it. There's been a lot of garbage on YouTube. I think everyone can kind of tell. There's been a lot more slop. There's been a lot more sort of like AI narrated videos, probably written by AI scripts as well, produced with AI editing that is kind of like really dominating a lot of different spheres. It's happened in Gacha. There are like Wuwa AI channels. There are Genshin ones. And of course, that spreads beyond Gacha to pretty much every single facet out there. And the end result is that the content on this application has naturally sort of diminished as a result as AI and its capabilities have grown. And the end result is, well, YouTube is taking action. And my personal take over here is that the fact that they're taking action is good because I'm suffering, you're suffering, we're kind of all suffering as like real human content viewers the more inundated this platform gets with garbage, but that has come at a cost. And I think that is what's going to be sort of focused on over here, ladies and gentlemen, with this video from Penguin Zero, Charlie. And some of you might be wondering, okay, Saint, like, why are you watching Charlie? This guy's kind of like a doormat. He's kind of just like, you know, he just goes with whatever. He changes flip-flops. I kind of view Charlie as like the human version of like a condom for like hot takes, in that he never speaks on a matter until like both sides have been examined, so he can find the most comfortable way to fence sit on the situation and offend nobody. Does that reasoning make sense? It does, doesn't it, right? Like his takes are typically the ones that like you can kind of just like use at a baseline because you know it's not really going to offend a bunch of people. And that's why I call him that, because it's safe to wait for the Charlie take most of the time. Because fence sitting is like this guy's #1 skill. It's like maxed out. It's prestige. He's level 99. He's got the skill cape. So let's go ahead and see what it's all about over here.
Spicy Meatball just dropped from YouTube here. They made an announcement that changes will be coming to the YouTube Partner Program starting early 2027. The Partner Program on YouTube is how channels earn money through the platform.
And I can confirm I know a lot about the program. I'm obviously in it. I've received monthly payments from it since my career started. And I think, let me just look up a couple of like basic information about my channel, just so I want to be able to describe, right? Like, and like kind of like have myself in line with what's going on here. Oh yeah, no, this is going to piss people off. Just as like a bit of a refresher, my first video was on May 8th, 2024. And I was accepted into the partner program and that's when I was accepted. So it took me about 14 days to get monetized. Yeah, it took me about 14 days to get monetized. So I kind of speed ran that one. Yeah, I kind of speed ran that one. Yeah, May 8th, 2024. So yeah, like 14 days.
And beginning next year, they are doubling the viewership requirements for new creators to...
So yeah, I got 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subs within 14 days. Which is like pretty good, right? Most people would say that's like quite nice. Probably less than 14 days because I like had to submit my application. So it was more like 12, 11, something along those lines. But they are now doubling the number of public watch hours. You can probably get into the sort of like viewpoint or the results or really just like the personal take that I have to have during this situation. It wouldn't have impacted me at all. Okay, maybe instead of taking 11 days to reach this, I would have taken like 20. Maybe 21 or 22, right? Maybe it would have taken me like a whole month to like get there, but that would have been me, right? That would have been like my history. Bucko deleted a lot of Genshin videos. Let's correct that misinfo real fast because the channel was created on May 7th, 2024. Then my first video was made on May 8th. So what Genshin videos got deleted? I think Gacha Smack spreads the misinfo that my channel used to be a Genshin channel. Gacha Smack spreads that misinfo really often, that I used to be a Genshin channel, even though, like, oh, I forgot, Gacha Smack, like, is slightly illiterate. Yeah, I mean, you just saw that my first video was on May 8th, and then Social Blade is telling you that my channel was created on May 7th. So, like, yeah, I don't know where that claim came from, but people are just making that shit up. I guess this is the reality. Obviously, getting monetized in 13 days, 11 days, leads people to assume that I must have had a career in content before. This is my second run. No, I'm just better at making videos than you. And that was, again, I did more in 11 days than you did in 4 or 5 years. And I know it's embarrassing, but you don't have to pretend that I like cheated or that I have like prior experience. I'm just better than you. That's sort of like the unfortunate result of that. This is not easy to get for a lot of people. This is not easy for people because there are individuals who have had YouTube accounts for like years, months, upload video, like hundreds of videos, tens of videos, whatever. And then they never end up actually reaching 8,000 qualified public watch hours. So what this is essentially doing is, for people that are just good at making content, that are good at making engaging materials, that are able to just attract an audience, this isn't going to affect you at all because you were probably easily meeting those watch hour components anyways. It's not really like a struggle. It's not really like a problem for you. This is only going to make it harder for the individuals that were really just like not really doing that much in the first place. And I guess this is the thing. If you only have like 4,000 public watch hours, you are not really making that much money, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. Like barely hitting these numbers means that like you're not getting that much money.
Earn ad and premium revenue through the partner program, and also doubling the watch hours over a 12-month period that are required to enter the partner program.
So the shorts requirement is what I've said is, I haven't even commented on that. Bro, I don't even get 20 million shorts views in the last 90 days. I don't even know how people get that. And these are my shorts. Bro, I have shorts that like actually pop off. And I am nowhere close to that. That's like not even a thing. It's like not even a thing, bro. And like, I feel like my shorts are pretty good too. Not even close. It's so much easier to get it via watch hours than it is by shorts. I don't even recommend anyone tries. I think, hey, just give up, bro. There's no point. Do not even try that. You are fucked.
To enter the partner program, you have to hit one of the two, either getting the required eligible views, which is now 20 million shorts views, or
impossible. Don't even go for shorts. I think what this has done is it's effectively turned shorts into like the most premium of the premium. If you're not getting like minimum like 200K on each upload, you're kind of fucked. Minimum 100, 200K on each upload.
Or getting 8,000 watch hours on long-form content. Both of these have been doubled from the previous requirement, which was 4K watch hours or 10 million shorts views in the given time period, which is 90 days for shorts or 12 months for long-form. That is, of course, coupled with the 1,000 subscriber requirement. So you have to hit 1,000 subscribers, and one of those two metric milestones there in order to...
It's ridiculous. It's crazy. But the thing is it's not going to impact, I guess, the people that were going to be successful anyways. Does that make sense? Because my story, I led with it for a reason. Because I would not have faced any additional difficulties. I would not have faced any additional problems. Nothing would have been different, right? Nothing would have been different for me had I operated under all these platforms. But what about a bunch of other people in the gacha space? What about a bunch of just other creators in general? The barrier to entry got doubled, but the barrier wasn't high. But man, it was really hard for a lot of people to even reach the barrier in the first place. And this is the unfortunate thing. And this is the thing that I'm just going to be telling people up front, being the guy that has lived in some ways. I'm just gonna be upfront here. There are probably some people out there that believe, or they're under the impression that I am like living the dream job or like the dream career that they wish they could have. Just going up on stream and just like yelling about games or talking about them every single day and then uploading a bunch of videos, right? This is what I'll tell you as somebody that's currently living that life. I hope you're ready for this one. If you aren't reaching this in like a month or 2 months, you should probably just move on. If you're not reaching this within a month or 2 months, you probably should be using your effort elsewhere. if your goal is to make it a career. If your goal is to make it a hobby, then just ignore what I'm saying because it's a fucking hobby. And like, great, you want to know what else you can do as a hobby? Lose money as a hobby. Go gambling, right? Anything can be a fucking hobby. So like, I don't think that's an argument over here. If it's a hobby, you don't even fucking care about making money. So why are you looking at this shit, right? Once you decide to focus and lock in on this actually being a revenue stream and you're dedicating the resources, and this is the important part, you're dedicating the resources as if it's a revenue stream and you're not getting the results, you need to learn when to let go. Because this is the thing. If you're putting in the effort and you're not getting the results, there's only a certain amount of effort you're going to be able to put in before you're no longer able to put in that effort anymore. And I guess there's just a lot of individuals out there who are kind of like at the point where they're viewing it as like as a way forward. But unfortunately, it's something that you also need to recognize you got to grind for as well. Because the more videos you put out, the more you're able to get views, the more you're able to sort of like build towards these markers. And there's a lot of people right now that are treating their YouTube channel, their video making, all of that as a full-time career, yet they're making less than minimum wage. And there are some people that are working on these channels, these unmonetized ones, at the rate of a full-time job, and they're not even monetized yet. Those are the people that I'm saying. If you're not reaching this in like a month or 2 months at your highest output, do you think a couple more are going to help, or is it time to move on? Because I think this is YouTube kind of telling those people, maybe it is time to move on. But that's kind of like the human side of things, right? The really empathetic side of things. There's another side as well.
And I think a very largely overlooked reason behind this is... buckle your seatbelt. I know you're probably tired of me taking you on this wild ride here. AI.
And that's the other side, right? I said we were done with the human empathetic side. Now it's this.
YouTube is experiencing a flood, really a fucking pandemic, a plague of AI slop that is just truly infecting the platform with STDs, the likes of which you could never even fathom. And it is completely contaminated shorts. It is also really going...
There are people that are taking my scripts from videos, turning them into AI shorts, and then re-uploading them. There are people that be out here literally taking my videos, the summaries and the reasoning and the logic from those videos, and then they're just repackaging them with AI. One example, here you go. Doron Waves,
So
bro.
these are the current top 5 meta teams in Wuthering Waves. At number 5, you got Yang Yang Zhuangling,
This guy just took all the info from my own team's video.
Sui Sui, and Shiza. A really strong team with Sui Sui providing huge buffs, and Shiza applying negative status effects. But it isn't the most efficient for endgame, since it eats up.
These guys just take the
That's
scripts
surprising.
from my videos and then re-upload them with AI, bro. This guy did it too, except he went from, instead of 5 teams, it's 3 teams.
Arguing about the best team in Wuthering Waves, but after analyzing the entire...
Guys, it's everywhere, even for the gacha games. That's kind of like the point. It's everywhere. And that's just examples in gacha.
hog wild on longform too, and none of it's real, and they have been farming the partner program for every doubloon they could possibly hit out of it, like fucking Mario jumping into a coin block.
Does that make sense?
And the AI slop sometimes gets taken down, not always. The YouTube methodology for identifying these channels is not ideal.
They're taking down real channels, while obviously the ones that you just saw, they're fine.
Just covered the Kurt Sagat stuff like 2 days ago now. But the...
Yeah, Kurt Sagat is like a cartoonist that made hand-drawn cartoons, and his channel got taken down for AI because YouTube has brain damage.
These AI channels are infinitely springing up because they take actually seconds to make. And they are hitting these milestones, the previous milestones, very quickly. Obviously, inorganically, not authentically, and a lot of times it is just fraudulent. But they have been able to squeeze a lot of money from the YouTube Partner Program, and I imagine that's played a pretty big role in YouTube now upping the requirements to hopefully combat that.
Because this is the thing, guys. This is going to sound fucked up, but I'm kind of happy about this. Because the less that we're having these parasites stealing from the partner program, the more money that actual real creators are going to get. That's kind of it. Like, when they tighten these restrictions, and unfortunately, they're fucking over some people, right? But like I said, if you were struggling to reach the 4K, you probably weren't making that much money with your channel in the first place, right? So it's like moving it to 8K and then keeping you unmonetized ain't that big of a... I legitimately mean it in the sense that if someone is barely scraping 4K monthly watch hours, they're not really making anything. I might need to lend some credence to that with some actual stats over here. So currently I'm at 423K watch hours in the past 28 days. I'm at 423K watch hours in the past 28 days. 423. You need 8K in 90 days. 8K watch hours in 90 days. I have 423. Okay. And that's kind of like the point, right? Oh, my revenue number is like gigafucked right now. And so let me just say this. Let's assume that I only had about... Let's assume that I only got 4K watch hours, right? In a month. Guys, that would be approximately, I think, maybe like... I think 4K watch hours in a month is like... It's 8K and 12. Oh, that's not even hard to get. Oh, that's not even hard to get. Yeah, if you can't get 8K public watch hours in the last 12 months, you would just kind of are dog shit. Let me show you the average number of watch hours on like a fucking... Bro, fuck it. Let's just take our 28-minute video over here. You need Hiyuki. This alone is almost 4K. It's a 22.4K view video. It's almost 3.2K watch hours. That's what I mean. It's not... I truly don't think that's that much. Over 12 months. So you make less than $50 a month. Okay, you know, I'm not going to answer questions from retards. If that was your conclusion from that, bro, I think you would choke on a cereal box.
Does have like a positive effect on stopping so many of these AI slop factories from springing up all over the place, because the requirements are much heftier. So maybe this does prove to be a valuable weapon against this menace here, this pariah. I doubt it'll be like Excalibur fully defeating it, because
I don't think it's really going to, because if anything, if these guys are already meeting the 4K watch hour requirement and blazing through it easy, that's going to be hard, right? But this is also the other thing, guys. I don't think the AI slop comes from primarily the long-form videos. As you just saw, 8K long forms over 12 months, I don't really think much has particularly changed, because if you're only getting 8K over 12 months, bro, guys, 8K over 12 months, using that little excerpt I just gave you, that would be like $100 a year. Assuming you had this rate, 8K over 12, bro, you would be making $100 from YouTube a year. That's how little, actually, watch hours turns into money. Remember, this is 3.2K. It's like 56, bro. What's 8K going to be? Bitch, if you add the minimum over here, you're making like $100 a year. So it's like, it's a real non-issue, right? It's a real non-issue. If this is where you're at, it's $100 a year. But what do you see down here? 20 million qualified shorts views. Do you want me to show you the analytics of my shorts? I think I truly need to like put into like reality just how crazy 20 million in shorts actually is. Dude, this shit is painful. Over the last 90 days, bro, this is what my shorts metrics look like. I literally have days where I get 230K views. I am more than 13 million below the requirement. With daily views that look like this, I am 13 million below the requirement. Because that's 90 days, last 90. And this is where I think the real money is happening. I think that these AI channels, the ones that spam shorts, are going to be the ones that are getting fucked the hardest. Rightfully so. Because how are you getting to 20, bro? Bro, I'm out here, like, struggling. And how do I even get to 20? It's over for me. So it looks like the shorts content is the stuff that's getting demolished, while long-form stuff really isn't. And I think this is great. I think this is good. Because, bitch, if you were at the bare minimum, you were making $50 a year last year. Great. They made the requirement for the partner program. You got to earn $100 in ad revenue over the last 12 months, over 50. It's just 50 fucking bucks more. Bro, that's truly not that much. It's 50 extra bucks more in ad rev. Like, if you're struggling to get that, then content creation was not really a revenue stream or a career for you.
Much heftier. So maybe this does prove to be a valuable weapon against this menace here, this pariah. They just keep pumping out endless amounts here and eventually claw their way to the requirements for the partnership program to make money off it. But maybe it takes them too long. YouTube finds out and, you know, smites them. I guess that's possible.
I really just think they should just do a more stringent review of whoever's entering, and if they're AI spamming stuff, just like just ban their account.
Too, though I find it unlikely. But I
like just put down an iron fist on AI slop content. Like, if somebody tries to enter the program and it's like their content is literally just reused and plagiarized from people, just like literally terminate it on the spot. And when people are submitting their channels for the partner program and instead getting them terminated, they will stop doing this.
Also think this pushes normal people that are trying to pursue a YouTube channel and try and make it to the partnership program.
This is my personal take. If you're a normal person trying to make YouTube your career, this has changed nothing for you, because of the dollar amounts I was talking about before. However, if you're a normal person trying to do shorts as a career, you probably weren't supposed to do that in the first place. And now it's doubly as hard, but it's like doubling infinity by 2 is like it's still gonna be infinity, right? It's like the opposite of dividing or multiplying 0 by a number. This is like dividing infinity by a number.
Reaching these milestones, I think it's kind of nudging them, shoving them down the path of considering AI slop as well as like a supplement to the content they're making. So that way they can continue to like churn out content to eventually, hopefully, breach the threshold that's required now, because it's significantly less likely if you have like 3 or 4 videos that you spend a lot of time on and maybe one pops off, like getting maybe 2 million views in shorts here. Like, you're still not even close.
Shorts are fucked. Shorts have been fucked because they don't even make any money anyways. That's kind of like the thing. Shorts were never really money makers in the first place, so it kind of just feels like a giant abort on shorts. But this is also the other thing, guys. With the lack of AI channels, they all get deleted, blah, 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 moderated, all that stuff. Maybe shorts are going to pay out more for all the other creators.
And getting a video to get 2 million views from out of fucking nowhere, pulled out of the ether, pulled out of your ass from a brand new startup channel, like, that's really rare. That's some like unicorn type shit.
No, it's a lot more common nowadays. I think Charlie is speaking from a place of inexperience over here, because he doesn't look at videos until they're big. That's like the size of him, right? As a career, he doesn't really talk about you know, if we were to use the Yelena terms, he goes through the big potato stuff, right? Charlie goes through the big potato stuff, and so naturally he's never going to see the small potatoes that turn into big potatoes. But it's actually very easy for channels to go viral on like their first vid. A lot of new creators are recommended a lot more often, specifically for long forms.
But even if that does happen, you're still not even like scratching at the nipple there on the titty to start suckling from the partnership program.
No, he's completely wrong. Charlie is completely wrong over here. It is incredibly easy to still incredibly easy to get monetized on the YouTube. What's it called? All right, this is probably gonna piss some people off. One 40K view video can get you monetized. There, congrats. You get monetized in the YouTube partner program from one video. There's your 8K. Just one video will get you. So like, I don't know. I think he didn't really do that much research over here. I think he's talking out of his ass. Unless I'm misunderstanding what he's saying. Like, if you just have, like you could just get it off of like 2 or 3 long form vids.
20 million shorts views in 90 days. That's...
Okay, he's talking about shorts. Okay. I think... he kept saying videos. He kept saying fucking videos, and so I assume he was talking about long form videos. I assumed he was talking about long form vids, not shorts. Dude, that's confusing.
Not easy. That's pretty cutthroat. So I think creators will feel incentivized to start using AI as well and adding that to their channel in order to keep churning out tons of videos and hope that some of them start to pop off. But even if they don't, the volume of those like lesser view videos may eventually help them grind out the milestones required to reach the threshold.
So this is my personal take when it comes to creators using AI. You're free to use however much AI you want. Right? You're free to use as a creator how much AI you want. It's the point where your content is literally stealing from other individuals, and then you're utilizing AI to facilitate that theft that there's a problem. And that's mainly what AI is used for nowadays. It's not really for speeding stuff up. It's for speeding up the act of theft. And so the AI itself isn't bad. It's when you're using the AI to literally do the thinking, make the points, and make your video for you. When AI is a tool to speed things up, you're simply using it as a tool to steal someone else's ideas. And that's the type of stuff that I hope is being combated. Because I am 100% for creators using AI to make things like thumbnails, create chapters for their videos, descriptions for their videos, using AI to decide where to place ads, using AI to decide how they should tag their video. Go for it. Who cares? You're using that as a way to speed up, like, that's like using a calculator for making vids. It's like using a calculator for making calculations. Oh, yeah, well, you use this graphic calculator over here to make that parabola, so it's not real. I input all the stuff in there. And they got this parabola out. No, it's fine to use the graphic calculator. If you're the one inputting in, like, the content of your video, and then you're just asking it to make tags or chapters for you, who cares? If you're simply just speeding up an existing process, nobody cares about AI. But if you're using AI to literally take a shortcut by stealing someone else's words or thoughts, then obviously there's an issue, because that's just theft. But you're making it a quick theft.
So I do think that this will have an adverse effect of leading to even more AI content from normal people trying to reach this requirement.
If people want to use AI to speed up their own content and speed up their own processes, and they're able to output more videos as a result of that, but they're not literally, ruining the quality or doing it, I don't think it matters.
I also think that this will stifle a lot of new channels.
Any of you guys have a Roomba? You know that little dorky little fucking circle-looking robot that goes around and vacuums your floor while you're busy picking your boogers watching anime? And it vacuums for you? That's just removing one of your vacuum chores, right? That just removes one of your chores, but it's AI doing it, right?
Who want to go on like creative endeavors with content, because making, creative or specific niche content for a channel is kind of a death sentence here. It's very unlikely you're going to hit these milestones with something that is specific to a niche that you're interested in, or like a topic that you're interested in. It will instead push people to be more focused on viral content and just
make long form videos, give up on shorts. I think Charlie over here is kind of like over exaggerating the amount of like the actual like sort of importance of shorts. I feel like, cause like, bro, you make no money off these bitches anyways.
Like really sterile, generic, formulaic content as opposed to like passionate, creative ones, because you're more likely to have the, viral bait content, top 10 reptiles who could beat a Hercules beetle in a head-to-head fight on Fortnite no build or whatever. Or Tung Sahur did what to the K-pop Demon Hunters? So I feel like there is also a chance.
Now you know what's in his search history. Yeah, that was way too specific. That was way too specific. Nah, he saw that recently.
That this change further pushes people away from committing a lot of time and energy and effort into talking about specific interests or specific communities, and we'll see kind of the end of like these grassroots channels that are all about like one specific thing that isn't necessarily a mainstream topic, in favor of all of them pursuing like the stuff that is proven to get caught up in the algorithm. And
I think Charlie's sort of going. I think he's going a little bit off the rails over here. Barely meeting the YPP requirements as listed out over there is going to lead to so little actual income that it's basically the same as working for fucking free. So I guess it's sort of like this idea that these channels will like disappear. Well, like not really, because if this restriction wasn't there, they'd be making like $10 a month. They've gone from making $10 a month to zero with this new system. Great, minus $10. Like, is minus $10 a month going to dramatically change their decision making? Maybe, but if so, I'm wondering what their previous decision was in the fucking first place for that to be for that to move the needle. And so it's kind of just like, I don't know.
pushed heavily, which is, you know, like the
It seems like he's focusing on the wrong issues here.
listicles, Mr. Beast style, that kind of thing. Like, let's take, for example, Animators, which is one I always like to talk about because animation takes a lot of time, in a lot of cases, a lot of money, and it is not something that you can just infinitely, you know, spit out. And
Yeah, and this is kind of like the issue. Yeah, they're fucked.
unless, of course, you're using AI for it, which, again, this would incentivize you to do, to start just doing AI animations or something, because those take seconds, whereas like a normal hand-drawn real cartoon, that takes a long time. Many, many, many hours. So let's take Animators, for example. With these new requirements, 20 million shorts views and 90...
If you're an animator trying to get monetized with shorts before this update, you had brain damage. And this is why I can't take this comparison seriously. Bro, let me show you how much money shorts make. I'll just show you how much money they make, bro. If you were using shorts as a way, if you were an animator hand-drawing animations and you decided, oh, I'm going to utilize shorts as a way, you were retarded in the first place. You were already retarded. So it's kind of like Charlie's talking about the inability for people to do that now. You weren't able to do it before. This changes nothing. Like, that's the thing. This changes literally nothing.
90 days. Oh, buddy. Hooey. Hope you're ready for that carpal tunnel to set.
You were already having it.
And you're going to need to be churning out animations, or one animation that you keep breaking up into like a million shorts infinitely. Kind of like what Mr. Bean's YouTube channel does, actually. They keep recycling the same like handful of episodes because there isn't a lot of episodes of Mr. Bean. So they just keep repackaging those same episodes into like 1,000 videos.
That's just called being smart.
Which I guess you could do for like an animation you spend a lot of time for and see if
Yeah, you should probably go do that for an animation you spend a lot of time on. Make it a long form and then also a short form. Because if you're trying to live off of shorts, you are crazy.
you can reach the 20 million views. Probably won't happen.
You're crazy if you're trying to do that now, and you were crazy if you were trying to do that before.
It probably won't happen easily, at least. That'll be a Herculean task, no doubt. And in the 8,000 public watch hours across 12-month period.
That's easy. Please don't exaggerate this. This is what I'll say. Like I said before, 8,000 in 12 months is not a lot of money. It's just not a lot of money at a baseline.
That's also brutal for like an animator. That's a lot of cartoons you're going to need to be making. The 8,000 watch hours across 12 months, that favors people that are going to do like pretty long videos, which animators are not going to be doing because that takes so much time, money, effort. Like, that's a lot. Like, even making a minute high quality cartoon is a lot of work.
I feel like this is one of the very few situations where, yeah, I mean, he's 100% right, but like, we're animators. What was their life like before this? Because Charlie's basically saying it's really hard for animators to make videos that are long. Okay, that was the state before this update. That was the state of animation on YouTube before this. So, like, if the argument is that they just can't output that, but they weren't even making any fucking money in the first place. Because I already told you that 8K watch hours in a year is like $200 max. And so if you were animating as like a job or a career and you were making less than $200, that just... It's just the same exact situation before the change that it is now. What I'm saying is that is such a small slice of ad revenue pie, AdSense pie. It's not even worth talking. It's a non-factor.
If you're going to try and like make the 8,000 watch hours, you're going to need to be doing a lot of those like minute-long cartoons.
It was 4K before, bro, so it wasn't that different.
Or you could prioritize doing like really, really like cheap and quick animation, you know, like story time type animation where it's...
Dude, this is like, hey, I need you to hit this target 4 miles away. you have the option of using a handgun or a sniper rifle. And, like, the animators are basically the people using the handgun. Maybe this isn't the right way. This isn't the right challenge for you.
Only a couple of shots and only a little bit of, like, movement and such in order to prioritize getting a lot of those animations out, and maybe even trying to go for, like, longer animation runtime there to reach the watch hours. But no matter how you spin it, it's a lot. So the point I'm making is that
it was a lot before if you were jumping through that many hoops to make your content. Like, guys, remember, it was going from 4K to 8K. It was still 4K, and all these struggles, they still existed with 4K.
These new requirements are very steep, and I think that this is going to scare a lot of people off from even trying to make, you know, very specific content or animations. Like, I do think it's going...
This is my take on who it's going to scare off. It shouldn't scare off anybody in long form, but shorts creators should, like, just maybe look into other options.
To push people towards just doing the standard
go do short form content on TikTok and just say fuck off to YouTube.
Viral content, or even utilizing AI slop themselves to try and grind out these milestones. And I'm not even entirely sure if this is going to really stop these content farms from churning out AI slop, because they might not even be affected all that much, because they can make hundreds of videos a day and just have them plastered everywhere and probably get there in the deadlines. Maybe they get taken down before then, but maybe they don't. And
yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I hope they're accompanying this with some of the most stringent development of, like, some type of, like, way to detect the slop content. And then they combine this with, like, an increase in revenue from the partner program so that everyone that's legitimate and real gets a bigger slice of the pie. Nobody's complaining then. If that's what they do, they, like, make sure the things that are getting eliminated are purely the AI slop plagiarism channels, and then the revenue share for everybody else goes up. This is like a flawless execution from YouTube, and probably one of the best things they've done for the platform ever. But if they simply just add all these restrictions on and then nothing changes, this is just retarded, right? So there needs to be actionable, noticeable, like, real shit and a reduction in the amount of garbage on the platform. Otherwise, this is going to be considered one of just the biggest wastes of fucking time I think anyone's ever had.
A lot of cases, they don't. So I guess we'll see the effects of this come next year. But that is a significant change to the partnership program requirements.
I think it's a significant change for shorts. I think it kills shorts just completely in general. But I think long forms, it changes absolutely nothing. And this is my real take. YouTube is really a long form only platform. And you should always start off long form and then maybe dabble in shorts, but you should never really go in just with a full shorts angle. And this just further reinforces that, which I think is a positive thing for the community.
That kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I can't say I'm overly surprised to see them changing eligibility for it, because, like I said, there is a huge issue right now on the platform with all this AI slop that does keep meeting the partnership requirements, the threshold there, and is farming AdSense from YouTube with inauthentic, fake, phony baloney garbage. So, like, I'm kind of not overly surprised that they're doing something to try and fight back against them getting monetization. I just wouldn't have expected it to be, like, this big of a jump off rip like that.
It looks big. You probably said that a bunch of times, but that wasn't true, was it? Right? It looks big, but it really isn't. And that's you telling the truth afterwards, after you've been exposed. I'm personally of the belief that there's going to be, like, a big wave of individuals who are going to look at this situation and then kind of, like, get the pitchforks ready. Right? There are already a bunch of individuals talking about, oh, like, I can give, like, advice, all of that stuff. Guys, if you were barely meeting the requirements before, you're not going to meet them now. But if you were barely meeting the requirements before, you were making like $60 a year. So, like, you don't really have any additional problems. You just got told the truth. You can't really do this as a career, and you're schizoing out because you can't accept that. And that's one of the other realities that I think has come out of this situation. Because if you were somebody that was meeting the requirements before and now you're suddenly not, bro, you weren't making any fucking money anyways. So, like, why do you, like, it doesn't really matter, does it? That's the unfortunate truth. That's what it is. And I'm going to be honest, I see the long-term vision for this plan. it could actually just end up really improving YouTube as a whole. So that's why we're trying to bring both perspectives to this conversation. But naturally, it's YouTube and Google. They could really just fuck it up and make it even worse somehow, which would be right in line for them too. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.